Okay, good evening, and I know there's still some people coming, but we will have to start. I'm so happy to see so many of you. For once, I don't see many. Okay, Andre, I know. I saw that. I saw your hand. I saw it. He's saying he doesn't hear anything. Okay, now can you hear me? Thank you. Because that's the most important, is that you hear me. I'm so happy to see so many of you. Not many familiar faces, but I hope you will become familiar to the festival. My name is George Shamshou. I'm the executive director of the festival, and we are a non-profit, which means we need your help, but not money. Money you want to give, no problem. But the most important is please spread the word, talk about us, let people know, tell your neighbors, your friends, your family to come. The doors are open, bless you. And this is the only way we can survive. We've been surviving for 10 years, struggling, but we love it. And my team and I, we're all volunteers, and we do it out of passion. That's it. Tonight is, for me, it's historic because we have Amir Khan with us tonight, and I'm a big fan of Jyoti. This is Jyoti from the Jyoti studio. Geo studio. Sorry, Geo studio.
Jyoti studio is mine.
That's okay. We'll change it. How about that?
Yeah. I'll speak to Mr. Ambani.
Okay, please let me. So anyway, thank you so much for coming. And maybe I don't know if I should say that. Well, I'm going to say it. Tonight you're going to see my favorite movie. Honestly, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I'm saying it. You're going to love it. It's a great movie. It's a feel-good movie. We need so many movies like this. We don't have this. We don't. Hollywood is all about sequel and prequel and that and that. Blah, blah. Here you have heart. You have soul. And it is so beautiful to see movies like this. Actually, every time I go, filmmakers, they come to me. Sorry, I'm talking. And they come to me and they say, George, we would like to go to Hollywood. I said, are you crazy? Stay where you are. We learn from you. Honestly, I learned from them. I've been in this business 57 years. And believe me, the American cinema. So please make more movies. Teach us. And we have Andre Morgan with us, who spent his life doing movies in China, and he knows what I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. Do you want to say something, Kira?
No, just welcome them.
Okay, can you just stand here one second? Yeah, please.
Sure.
Jyoti. Hi, everyone. How lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having us. We're really delighted to be part of AWFF, and we are going to do a Q&A after the film, so we're not going to say very much, but except that sit back, enjoy, and see you after the ride. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, we'll speak up.
Okay, Meda Jaishankar, I'm sorry, forgive me. Please tell your dad to forgive me. I forgot to say that Meda is going to moderate, okay?
Thank you.
Everyone, please give it up for our directors and producers, Kiran Rao, Amir Khan, and Jyoti Deshpande. From Jyoti Studios, or what you call it, Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here at our little festival. I'm going to go straight into some questions, and then I'll open it up for the audience after. But I'll begin with our dear director here. You know, this film, it begins with a situational comedy sort of situation, literally speaking. And then it delves into some very serious issues without being preachy. How did you manage to get that balance right?
I think it was a balance that we struck over the course of the film. Of course, we were very aware that we wanted to touch upon all these very important subjects and themes. And we realized that a satire or we were using comedy of errors and this sort of funny tale of of mistaken identity, but actually using it to critique many things, to sort of explore many issues. So the comedy actually helped us to do a lot of the kind of work by disarming people and getting you laughing. And we find when people are laughing, they're the most open to new ideas and criticism perhaps. So in the writing, that was I think achieved, and then through the course of making the film, I think at the edit stage, that was another point of time when we really found how much was enough, to touch upon, because a lot of this is things that we know, and the writing had given us a way to do it through plot and situation rather than through dialogue, like not wanting to be preachy at all or on the nose. So, so it was the edit that also was a very important time when we tried to achieve that balance and keep it really light.
And talking about the filmmaking process, you shot at the height of COVID. You lost your DP a few days before shooting to COVID. Not
lost, yeah.
Yes, sorry. Badly said. A lot of other production.
You lost him for a week.
You lost him for a week, just to clarify. What kept you inspired throughout? Did you films? Was there any art that really sort of got you going through the tough times?
I had, with sort of great bravado, thought we'd shoot the toughest stuff first. Let's just get it out of the way. And of course, he got COVID one day before we started. So it was the toughest stuff first, really. But, so I didn't really have time during the shoot to, watch anything other than the rushes. And we were actually editing a lot of the train sequences on location, because we only had the trains and stations, because we had to get Indian Railways permission for a short period of time, so we needed to make sure we covered everything. But before the film started, I watched, I kind of used a lot of photographic images and a lot of the photographers that I really admire to sort of inspire me in framing characters and the world, because photographers, for instance, like Raghubir Singh, who would shoot big landscapes, but you notice the people and how he frames them within that within certain windows. And Raghubir Singh, I don't know, Mary Ellen Mark has shot India so beautifully. Mitch Epstein did a lovely book on India. So yeah, it was photographers more than watching films really before the film.
So all the filmmakers out there, remember to keep such inspiration when you're making a film. This is a question for all three of you. So the film is set in 2001. We're now in 2024. Where are ladies? Where are they? Where are Pool and
Jaya today? That's interesting. I'd like to say that Jaya has like an organic farming, like, I don't know, company where she's working with like women's farming or with groups and working against, GMO seeds or something. And Pool, I don't know, I think she'd probably be the mom of a couple of young kids by now and have a flourishing Kalakand business, maybe? I don't know.
How about the two of you?
Well, I think I agree with the answer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think Jaya was a little bit in your face, more career oriented than Fool. But I think, like you said in a previous in one of the previous sessions, Fool had a greater arc in terms of how far she came in the film. So I think Fool would maybe have a little restaurant, Kalakand, and maybe she has a JV with her Manjumai.
I thought you were going to say a JV with Reliance Retail.
Yeah, I was going to think the same. I was thinking the same. Maybe she has a GV with Mukesh.
Amir, a lot of us know you as an actor. You're also a producer. If there was a character you would play in this film, either male or female, who would you pick?
I tried to. She didn't take me in the film. I wanted to play the cop. But I did a screen test for it as well. But I was rejected.
Did you get feedback on your acting and why you didn't get the role?
Well, actually, no. The thing is, I mean, more seriously, I did do a screen test because I was very keen to play that role. But then Kiran and I discussed it. I think my screen test was pretty good.
Yeah, yes, it was.
But we decided.
I mean, obviously his screen test was good, and he really wanted to kind of, I don't know, completely change his look and things for the cop. But we did feel that, I felt that the balance of the film would have been tipped a little, because now everyone here knows the film, and you know that he kind of does a little bit of a flip at the end, even though he stays fairly grey. He's still sort of has a empath side to him. But with Amir, you would have kind of expected him to do something at the end. The expectations would have been set because it was him,
She didn't trust me as an actor. She didn't trust that I would convince the audience that I am, very grey person. Maybe next time I'll impress her more.
Jyoti from Jyoti Studios. Laapata Ladies has been streaming globally, and now it's on Netflix. If you'd like to share with all your friends, yes, round of applause. How's the feedback been globally since you've released the film, and what does it say about films that are made in India and how they travel now in 2024?
So I think it's smashed all records on Netflix. It was trending on top spot for over a month when it first came on Netflix, and even now it's number 3 on top 10 globally for Netflix. It's playing in over 150 countries, and this is in spite of their strange algorithm, which doesn't really display this movie to people who've never ever watched a Hindi film before. So in spite of that, it's doing exceedingly well on Netflix. And now, as part of the screening, if more people watch it, more people tell more others about it, I think it can continue to do really, really well.
You can actually read a great IndieWire article that came out today about specifically why the word Laapata was used in Hindi. The English title is Lost Ladies. If you had 3 words to describe this film to an international audience, what would it be?
Just 3. Oh, that's tough.
We'll give you 1 extra.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
No,
think.
no, you go for all of us.
I would say large-hearted, progressive, hopeful.
Nice. Thank you. I'd say go watch it.
Yeah, I guess I think Go Watch It is a good one.
He says same as her.
I have so many more questions, but I think our audience is very eager to ask them. So I am going to pick on a few of you to ask some questions. So anyone? We've got Sophia back there.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful vision with all of us, and I really hope that inspires a lot of people to think about what they can do to help women regain their autonomy in circumstances where they don't have access to it. I was wondering, because some of the magic of filmmaking happens, oh thank you, I'm trying to project the diagram. Some of the magic of filmmaking happens in the most unexpected ways. I was wondering if there are any fun anecdotes from set, things that just sort of fell into place that weren't necessarily in the script, or fun moments or stories that really surprised you and made the film extra special.
So one I've noticed, it's a bit of a blink and miss it moment, and it comes at the very end of the film. It wasn't something that we'd planned or written on paper, but I'd wanted the last shot to be, and there's a shot in which Phool, as she's walking along, her ghungat slips off her head, and she kind of looks at Deepak and decides not to put it back on. and that actually wasn't scripted. And she had this sari that was very kind of, this polyester, slippery kind of sari. And it just kept falling off her head. And at one point I was like, let it be, and on a mic, because we were on a drone and we had like 2 cameras. And so screaming on a mic, I was just like, let it be. So she kind of does this uncertain gesture and then lets it be. And it just worked so perfectly as the last shot of the film, completely unplanned. And honestly, if you miss it, I don't really mind as much, because, she probably will go home and put it on in front of her in-laws. So it just doesn't really matter to me whether women wear a ghungat or not. So that was the point, But it was that the fact that she had challenged herself, she was sort of opening her mind up to other ways of seeing and being, which was so nicely just happened like that on set. So yeah, that's one thing I can think of.
Sandhya?
There was a guy there who has the mic.
Oh, sorry, Adil. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you so much for this amazing experience. I think, your duo, is something that, I always think of it as the sort of the public facing and the non, but, so many people kind of get attracted to the American thing. So, but leaving this film and this interview, I'm in love with you, Kiran. This is thoughtfulness for, especially the talk about the character, why you chose that is shows how much you guys are thoughtful in your art and in your craft. I've got 2 quick questions. One is the amazing rhythm with which the movie moves. It always engages you, no matter what, if there's comedy, if there's tension, if there's whatever, it is always this great rhythm, which I think a lot of other movies don't get, especially commercial type movies, right? Like how much of that is like in the initial planning of how you shoot and the story that you create, in how the movie moves, the projection. And the second question to both of you, you always bring a lot of great social issues out in your craft, in the things that you produce for the longest time that I can remember. When are you going to work on something on climate change?
Oh, sorry, I'll answer the second one first. That's my next film. In terms of rhythm, I think I struggled a lot to find the rhythm of this film, because I'd never done comedy before and it's hard. And, we test our films at American Productions a lot, and our first few screenings were disastrous. People were just not laughing, We were like...
They weren't disastrous.
Okay, they were not disastrous, but they felt horrible.
It wasn't the response we were hoping for.
Yeah.
In the first few screenings.
Yeah. So it took a while, and actually I have an excellent editor, Javeen Merchant, and she and I spent a long time getting the rhythm right. It obviously meant sacrificing lots of our darlings, and it also meant changing the entire first 5-7 minutes of the film. We had, it was written completely differently, and we literally sort of telescoped that into one song, and we changed the song, and we changed a lot of things in the beginning to kind of tell people that, oh, okay, it's a comedy, guys. You can laugh. It's fine. This girl is not being tortured. Like, a lot of people thought, oh my God, child marriage, and they were like feeling terribly sad when the film started. So we had to kind of work a lot to get the rhythm right. And thanks to testing, I think over time we really figured out what we needed to keep and what was kind of so being communicated without a line. So we would just take out lines. Altogether. So shaving out dialogue was also one of the ways we did it.
I'll take 2 more questions. So Sandhya.
This is a mic there.
Oh, Linda. I know everyone in this
Yeah,
audience.
this is a setup.
Yeah, but Linda has a mic, so we'll go with her, you, and then we'll see if we have time for one more.
First off, congratulations. A fantastic film. I'm so glad I saw it on big screen.
Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone. The casting was impeccable. I'm sorry, Amir, big fan, but because that policeman did really change. I didn't think you would go that route. And I did notice the sari, so your magic did come through. I am astounded you used a different DP for the first week. And can you credit that wonderful person and tell me the experience? Had you worked with them before? Were they second in command?
Actually, because it happened literally a day and a half before we were to shoot, my DP said, look, if anyone, because we had recce'd extensively, we had, all our ideas of what we, colors and everything that we wanted to do, and the inside of trains is very tricky. So he said, I can only suggest 2 DPs who would take my place, and of course they were not free. So we were like, okay, so now what do we do? And there was once when we were testing lenses, we had his ex-first AC, who's now a DP, had come to just, because he was in the area and he came to the, where we were doing our DI and just check. So I kind of remembered that we could ask him because he'd worked with my DP before, obviously. So we did, and luckily for us, a project that he was doing because of COVID had fallen through. So, no, light has to go further left, and, kind of literally directed him with like 104 temperature from Bombay through almost the first week. After about 1.5 days, the second AC was like, we can't hear you, Vikash. We just breaking up, and then he stopped having Vikash speak in his ear because he'd worked with Vikash for about 10 years. So he actually already knew how Vikash would have lit and shot, and his style and everything. So and then he went on to do second camera through the film. So he was with us through the whole film actually.
Okay, we'll do one last question, Sandhya.
So, Kiran, this was a great, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
First. I just love how every character, except for the wife beater, is redeemed. It's just beautiful. I'm curious how for the genesis of the idea, or how the script came by you, and what grabbed you about the story.
I think Amish should take that one. He found the script actually.
Well, I was a jury in a script competition, and this was one of the scripts that I read. And I really fell in love with it. The script competition, it was called Sinistan.
Yeah, it was organized between Sinistan and Screenwriters Association.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the competition was really to encourage young writers from all over the country, first-time writers, and this was a first-time writer. Right?
Yeah.
And Biplab, and I really liked his script, and it really moved me. It touched me. It, made me laugh. It made me cry, and it said such important things in such a wonderful way, as like Jyoti described it, as such a large-hearted film, and gives you. So I just fell in love with it, and I knew that this is a film that we wanted to make. And I also knew that Kiran had been struggling with selecting which film she should finally, commit to, because she's got some 8 to 10 scripts that she's playing with. All of them great, I think. But she wasn't committing to any one of them for various reasons. And so when I told her about this one, she kind of got interested, and then when she read the script, fortunately she felt the same way about it, and she took it on.
Yeah.
Anish, one last question.
Okay, very quickly.
I just add one thing to that. Somebody, I think you had asked that, how did you get it right, or, that's the reason I selected her, because I felt that she would be the right director. She's so honest. I've worked with Kiran before as an actor, and we worked together for so many years as producers. So I knew that I felt that the director for this film has to be someone who's really honest and doesn't play it up and plays it real. And I felt that Kiran would get that balance right. So, yeah.
One last question.
Yes. Kiran, congratulations. What a beautiful movie. I think what makes it special is it makes you laugh, cry, and it leaves you a lot to think about. The movie is set in 2001. When you were making the movie, did it ever cross your mind that a lot of issues that you touch on, while you might look at it and feel that, well, this was 2 decades ago and this may not be as relevant because there's so many Indians in India, but was that something that you were constantly struggling with?
No, I didn't actually struggle with it. It actually made life much easier, because it's easier to be critical, saying, oh, that was in the past. But we all know that so many of these issues are faced today, faced in all parts of the world. And it just gave us a chance to we still struggle with pretty much the same things. And I didn't struggle with the idea of it being a dated idea or dated in terms of the thematic concerns.
The whale is just a metaphor.
No question, but thanks for casting Deepak. He was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The best thing about this movie is him.
Yeah, actually when I saw the film for the first time after Kiran shot and cut the film, I was most surprised by Deepak's performance, and because on paper he doesn't come across the way he comes across on screen, and I think Sparsh, the actor, really brought that role to life by just being so sincere about the fact that he lost his wife, and he was just, he's playing a husband who's just worried actually. So, but when he I felt he was one of the actors who really brought that role alive, way beyond what I had expected when I read the script. So I was really impressed by his performance. Yeah.
Thank you guys, we've gone over time. So just to let you know, there's a QR code if you'd like to vote for the film. If we can just let all of us leave for a moment and then you can all exit.
Yes,
Thank
your
you.
code will be outside and we do have a reception upstairs for whoever has. Thank you.